Last time on Healing Heist, the flock went to the tavern described in a letter they had received from a friend. Once in the tavern, they received a new letter, this one coded to give them directions to a church where a secret meeting was being held. Once there, they found that Merrick, the notorious thief, had been the one who invited them, upon referral of mutual friends, to start a new thieving crew with the purpose of stealing the Staff of Resurrection from the Church of Antelion. Upon hearing this, many of the crews left, seeing this as a daunting task. However, our flock and 8 others stayed to be tested and tried. Will our crew be worthy to join Merrick's? Only time will tell.
Look at that sexy boy.
All right, guys. Here with roll for that.
Yes, we are.
Hello.
Pretty sure everything should be working out better this time than last time with our sound. Let me know if it's otherwise. I guess if anyone watches, let us know if there's any problems.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. But as that little intro said, we are now
That sounds much better.
back online. Grayson just confirmed we sound better than last time. So
Just for you guys.
yeah, so just like I said last time, or like I had in the intro there, last time we did just get finished up speaking with Merrick. We are actually at Merrick's hideout, is the location where we are currently at. And they had just spoken with everyone, talked with people for a little while, I believe they went to bed and woke up to get some coffee, and then we cut there just before the day was really about to start.
Yeah,
Yep.
that sounds right.
I'm not sure if we called it coffee, but now it's officially been called coffee.
Special work.
Perfect. Sounds good.
I had to steal the thing back from
Yeah.
Talia Crow.
Yeah, you did. I haven't noticed you took it back
And
yet.
as an update for everyone, we now have their character pictures, and they are colored so that we can see them slightly easier when we're out. Really, the pictures though are different enough. So
Yeah.
perfect. Everyone was waking up. I believe that Gray, or your character, was awake all night. Yeah. Perfect. Good. Okay. Well, going into this day here, you guys are all in the general area with all of the rest of the crews that were being considered to join in the final crew with Merrick here. Merrick had just come out of the back behind the bar to see everyone and said, all right, now's the time. We're going to start doing the testing for everyone. Now, there's going to be multiple different things that we're going to be doing to test your skills. The first thing I'm going to say is that this is a test of your physical skills and your attributes. There's not going to be magic allowed in most of these tests. If it is allowed, I will let you know.
Make me proud.
That'll be useful eventually.
Looking around the room, you see people kind of nodding and agreeing, or, accepting the terms of this whole one rule that he's given so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I accept these terms and conditions.
That makes sense. Based on this one rule, yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of shrugs and nods.
So, like, who
nothing too
needs
crazy.
magic?
It's magic. They're like, yes, this is a test of.
Nobody knows that magical,
That's fair.
theoretically.
I mean, we do.
I'm sure the halfling does.
Very true. But moving forward, he says, the first thing we're going to do is actually going to be just right here. We're not going to do much else. We're just going to push these tables together a little bit here, and we're going to play a friendly game of cards.
Oh, yes. Cards.
You want to get the person who is the best with their hands at the table for your group, and then whoever's most perceptive will be behind them.
Best with your hands.
If I've only got a +6.
I got that's me.
Like sleight of hand, you think?
Okay.
It would be sleight of hand. Best
Yeah.
with their hands.
It's gonna be-
in this case.
Yeah. It's going to be Talia.
As we walk past, I'm going to bump into Whitney's character and establish a mental link with
Done.
You're best with your hands.
Yep. I sit down at the table.
Who is the most observant is the next part. So if she's the best with her hands, the next
It's probably
step
her.
is whoever's
That
whoever's
is
between
also
the two
true.
of you. Or I mean, you guys decide. You need one person to
Someone
be
got
the
a
best with their
plus two.
hands, and the
Me
other to
too.
be best with observant. So if
And
there's
I'm the most stealthy and the
Um,
most perceptive. Yikes.
that's not necessarily. A
So
bad
maybe-
thing.
Right.
But would you be better? What I'm saying is just that you might be better as the observant.
I still
They might be
think-
better.
I personally think having her do this is better.
I
for
mean,
sleight of hand.
I can use a class ability to give myself plus 1d6 on a couple of sleight of hand rolls if I need to.
Mm. And then we can use her +6 perception.
Like that would be reasonable.
Yeah. So maybe we should do that.
Okay.
So like you
It's an
sit,
option.
you sit down and then he says, and the most perceptive person.
And I sit right back up.
And I just like switch chairs with you.
And I literally just stood still. I'm like, oh.
Oh, there were going to be tests? I didn't study.
As soon as he said no magic, I'm like,
No.
This changes things.
I should technically roll to see how many hours. Okay, we've got 5 hours of telepathy between us.
Sweet. I pat you on the shoulder as we switch.
Yeah.
So there is going to be 8 chairs at the table, so they may just actually use one table and have 8 chairs around it.
Mm-hmm.
Based on looking at the screen and what you guys see on the screen, they can probably fit 8 at one table. So
We can squeeze.
8 of you will be sitting at the one table, and then there will be your perceptive person will be behind. Merrick kind of walks up and he says, "Now, what's going to happen here is there's going to be 2 parts to this game. One, whoever's playing has to cheat every hand in one way or another.
Ooh.
Hey.
The other person will be observing to try to catch someone else and explain what they did.
Okay.
If you do that, they're eliminated from it.
Ooh.
Now, of course, you know that everyone's going to be cheating. It's a matter of figuring out.
How?
Mm-hmm.
So, if you just call out that someone's cheating, then of course they are.
Right.
But if you don't
It's
know
a
how, it doesn't
requirement.
the rest of you will want to be cheating in ways that is hard to notice, or at least hard to figure out how you did it. Maybe it's very noticeable at the end, but if they don't know how you did it, then it doesn't matter. Merrick nods and says, "Now." He looks around the table and everyone looks like they're situated. You see that the Dragonborn is sitting down at the table with the halfling behind him. You do see that there's another halfling that's actually sitting at the table with Syken, the tiefling that you had previously spoken with a little bit. At the table, you have one of the acrobatic elves are at the table. The other one is standing right behind.
Mm-hmm.
You have a tiefling that's sitting at the table, actually with a half-orc behind her, and then there's one that's a tiefling and a tiefling. The brothers, they look slogged out of their minds
Of course.
and are holding their heads while drinking just gobbles of water and the coffee. Kind of just 2 mugs sitting between the 2 of them, switching.
What a move.
too hot. Too water. Too hot.
There's an elf and a half elf, as well as a group of a human and a half elf that are at the table,
Okay.
and that makes all 9 of you that are. Oh, there's 9. Man, I am bad at counting. I forgot to add you guys. There's 8 other people, but there's 9 total at the table, including your group. Because
Interesting.
turns out you guys are a group.
Mm.
I know, it's crazy. I know. I'm
Blowing our mind.
so used to building this based on the people who are around, not necessarily the rest of you. Hello, Sneaky Tomahawk. Good to see you in there. We probably won't address the chat a whole lot, but you guys can probably a little bit
Yeah.
more than me.
Especially while I'm not watching and or playing. I can chit chat.
Perfect. That sounds great.
Well,
Um,
though, if you can find a sneaky way to do magic, I'm sure that would be moderately helpful.
Don't get caught.
Well, yeah, that's why I said sneaky.
Definitely don't get caught. But he says, "All right, time for your first hands," and he has everyone sit down and deals out to everyone.
Really quick,
Mhm.
I just want to know a little bit about the deck itself. Is
It would be considered standard, so
Okay.
consider it our kind of
is
standard.
just
deck.
kind of a basic like a
We'll consider it a standard face deck, even
Yeah.
though, well, it's probably a standard 2 or 3 face deck.
is it like with common backs, the kind of things that people who have extra decks of cards might be able to swap stuff out?
Definitely.
I figured, but you know.
It would definitely be something along those lines, where the idea is to make it possible to cheat.
Mhm.
If it was a completely unique deck, that would make it a little bit more
Difficult.
difficult to do.
Mhm.
So likely they set it up so that it's available for you. So yeah,
Okay.
cool. Going from there though, we have the cheating decks. Everyone's set up. Go ahead and roll for your sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand check. All right. Let's see. I should probably read my exact rules for that. Let me just double check. But let me see. That's only a 10, so I am going to add a d6 from my class feature. That's a 16.
16 now instead of 6, or I mean instead of 10.
Yeah,
Much
I
better.
got a really bad roll on one die and a good one on the other.
Now go ahead and you're going to be rolling to see if you can catch anyone else.
So is this like your shadow?
So it'll be rolling for
Yeah.
perception.
That's a 6 on.
A 12 total.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we weren't quite paying too much attention this time. Got distracted
I
by.
got a little excited.
Well, yeah, it's exciting. The
Yeah.
game just started. The round started. So you don't notice. I mean, you noticed that some hands seem wrong, but you didn't see how it got. How it happened. So it just you're like, dang it! I just missed it. Like you feel like you were looking at too many people. Maybe
I
and
was
just
trying to watch
missed it.
too many, and I
Yeah.
needed to watch just one.
So close.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As for you, though, you're able to play your hand, and no one's calling you out. However, the halfling Bill, your guys' or sorry, not Bill,
Corin?
Yes, Corin, your favorite halfling, so far anyway.
My BFF.
Your BFF immediately points to one of the half elves and says, and just points at them and says, "Had it up their sleeve, pulled it out, was an ace." And they like pick up their hand and they're yeah. And they get eliminated from the table immediately. As well as the bard woman does point out that one of the drunken brothers literally just swapped it like in front of himself, like flipped it out and missed it, and just
So is
He drunk.
is he drunken again, or is he just very hungover? Right.
he seems really hungover.
Okay.
He does not seem currently drunken, but
Hair of the dog.
it looks like he's just not quite able to like keep his hands the right way. It just so we've got 2 eliminated in that
He's
lap
got-
of the 9.
The mug fingers.
Everyone else did moderately okay rolls, enough that you didn't notice, but they weren't specifically looking at you either.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No, never mind.
No questions.
Was gonna be a statement, but I changed my mind.
Perfect. Sounds good. It is time for the next hand.
Next. So.
Rolling say.
Woof. Let me see. Can I afford to?
Ow!
Can you afford to not?
I don't. I really can't afford to not. So I'm gonna like start doing something and then shake out my sleeve a little bit, and I mean it's better. That's a 12 total. It's not great. But
Hey, that's better than a
getting
7.
those bad rolls out of the way early.
Okay, go ahead and roll for your perception.
Okay, so this time I am gonna pick a person and focus on
Deal.
person.
Um,
I'm hoping to try and get the person that's in front of Corin out before
Oh.
Corin can get us out.
Oh, that's
I know
so
he's like
hard.
so perceptive.
So you're trying to get the
dragon.
Dragonborn out?
Yeah.
Okay.
May I utilize our mental connection to give her an
I would have
assist
shared
on
this this plan with you.
How are you assisting? Out of curiosity.
He's watching too.
Yeah, I'm taking the assist action by also watching from a different angle and telling her which could narratively explain why I rolled so poorly on this.
All right. Go ahead and roll with advantage. Listen.
Woo!
That's a natural 20
That's
plus 6.
26.
26.
I,
That's pretty awesome.
Against the Dragonborn.
You're
I don't know if it was
plus
good
a
enough.
six?
Yeah. I still don't know if I was high enough.
You notice that she did cheat, and he kind of mentions to watch a specific spot where he thinks like maybe he's sliding it out or something. And you see that a card was switched. Like you can see that obviously it's a
literally
different card,
happened.
but you didn't see where it came from specifically. You just saw that a card was switched on this one. You did notice, however, that the person next to them was sliding it out of the hand next to where they were trying to do it. So you were specifically looking at her, but saw them do it out of their sleeve from the corner of their eye. They had a little mechanism that kind of popped out and slid it into their hands, and then they just put it in, and it like accepted the other card into their sleeve again. So that was the tiefling that was sitting with a half-orc behind, is the one who you saw what happened, but you didn't actually see what happened with it.
I'll point the tiefling out with the cheat mechanism in his arm, switched out the card.
The guy like slides his hand back, and you see it's pretty kind of simple. Like if he moves his hand back this far, then it just kind of extends, and if he does it again, then it comes back after he's. But yes, you got them out. Or sorry, you got her out. And moving on to the next step here, the observant halfling, which is now officially Corin's name, points out to the half-elf group and says, saw you itching your head there at the back. Noticed that you had an extra hand. and sure enough, they had like a couple of hands up in like a hat that they
Oh, that makes more sense.
like full hands that they just were sliding out of a hat and switching.
Oh, that's fantastic, actually.
I have a different hand now.
Yes.
That's
And
great.
then
I forgot my clothes.
one of the elves that are with the beautiful half-orc, Nizam, points out that the halfling in front of Saiken, who is Bill, was actually pulling it out of a boot whenever he needed. Well, this time pulled it out of his boot. And
Never go for the boot, man. So obvious.
he was short enough. He figured it would work.
Oh yeah.
But so Saiken's group is out. Currently, who that leaves is the Dragonborn, you guys, the Bard family, and I think that's it. I think it's just the three of you
I
left.
thought there was one.
There might be. So wait, one second.
Because we started out with 9.
So wait. So I said there's the Dragonborn team,
Is the
the beautiful half-orc team there as well.
okay.
There we
family.
go. And then the Bard family, and then you guys.
Okay,
So it's
so
the
there's
four of
four
you
of
all
us.
left, yes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, because there's 5 that I didn't count
Okay.
eliminated.
Perfect.
We can get through this without me using my last couple uses.
You
of
happen
it
to
for the
notice
day.
that with less people, it looks like Corin is having an easier time keeping an eye on people.
Oh, 100%.
What?
Yeah.
And then we go to. Okay, everyone roll for their hand.
Ooh, this die is fire.
You want to borrow one?
I haven't.
Ugh,
I
that
have
hurts
an
my soul.
extra.
You can choose to not if you wanted here. It's up to you.
Choose to not cheat.
No, I mean, you have to cheat. I'm saying that
Can he
We can
cheat
just
by
lose
not
now.
cheating?
you can just choose to lose now instead of
Oh.
using another dice if you wanted to keep
Oh,
that
right.
for later
That's
events.
true.
You know there's going to be
Hmm.
more.
It's like, hey,
I think.
we might make it.
Because I do still have like a +6 on this. Of course, Corin is going to see 7.
You rolled a 1 again.
Oh, God.
2 ones in a row.
No!
It's pretty bad. These dice are usually really kind to me.
The dice are not smiling on you tonight.
It
The
happens.
dice gods are not happy.
No.
They're really not. Yeah, I think what happens is that I go for something just a little bit too
Intricate or something.
yeah, or like I have been like slowly filling my sleeves with like bad cards.
You switch out bad cards.
And yeah, I think it's still a legal hand, but it's a bad legal hand.
And it's kind of obvious that, like, oh,
Yeah, and it's
all
kind
these
of
crappy
obvious. Yeah.
cards. You mixed up which sleeve you put them in.
Yeah.
Too much pressure. Can't perform.
You notice it. And you assume someone else might as well. Go ahead and roll for your observation.
I'm gonna continue to try and watch the tiefling and just like
Or
go
the
off of what yes, the dragonborn. Go off of what I saw last time. I can tell he did something weird and try and pick up on a little bit.
That's on the left.
+6,
17.
17.
You
Did
don't
not
notice
catch it.
anything. You were really
Less
close
obvious.
between your rolls last time, but this time not as much. It was seriously off by like 2 last time, but she also had a good roll. Not a 20, but
Thanks.
unfortunately you do not notice what they did. You were watching that same spot, and you know for a fact that they did nothing from that spot this time. So whatever they did was from a different spot completely. Exactly. And then moving to the next step here.
Doesn't make sense.
Whoa.
So Corin points out that Rolf, points out by name that Rolf, the bard man, was not doing very well as far as switching out his hand. He pulled out one card from one spot and put it in another place as a feint, because that's not where he was cheating from, but to try to get someone to call it. And Corin calls out both the feint that he did and where he actually pulled it from. He's been kind of half playing his guitar this whole time.
Corin?
No,
Rolf.
Okay.
Rolf the
The
bard.
bard boy.
And then actually pulled some cards out from inside the lute's hole.
Oh.
And that was where he's actually cheating from, but he was fainting from his sleeve.
Would be really hard to get a card out of. Okay, yeah.
It's while playing, and then just kind of slid his
Like
finger
that
up
would
and
be
under and
so
pulled it up
difficult
while
though.
playing.
Like,
But he's good.
Mhm.
yeah.
But it got caught, so
Mhm.
it may not have been as good as he was thinking.
As good as he hoped.
Mm-hmm. And then let's see here. The elf with Nazim, the half orc, they point out that you actually had cheated and the way that you had done it and mixed up your cards in your sleeve. But immediately after that,
They also
Corin
think-
actually calls them out as well.
That's hilarious.
For what they did, where she actually just had some sort of sticky substance on the cards and was putting it on her chair.
Sticky substance.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have the properties of both rubber and glue? Or no, rubber and... Oh, mine just went blank. Gum. There we go.
Xanthan gum.
No.
We're not sure.
Okay, it's fine.
Corin didn't say exactly what happened, just that it was keeping the card onto actually the bottom of the table. So a little bit on the bottom of the table and then pulling it down, same kind of style. But with that, Corin definitely got out the competition.
Real easy. Yeah.
I mean,
I just
you technically
pulled
got
my
out by
cards
someone
out.
else, but
Yeah, but
it was a swift play there. But you guys lasted till the last round before being
which is
eliminated.
not bad
Not.
considering.
Pretty good. We're doing all right.
Yeah, that last roll
Alright.
was pretty rough.
Yeah. That-
Just imagine, Corn probably could have called out all of us at the same time.
Oh, like
yeah.
I bet he could.
It's possible that the elf just said it before he could.
Yeah.
But
He was trying to talk about the other guy first.
I like that you said the one has fallen in chat.
Well, yeah. I gotta let people know.
You have to let people know. We need a critical 1 and a critical 20 up on there for pictures later. Just
Sneaky
to post
Tomahawk
up or
left me.
something. However, moving on to the next part here. I just realized that I've been playing without any music, which is not right. But anyway, Merrick then stands up and says, "Wow, that was deftly done." We will be going on to the next part here. We'll probably only do one. We might have time for 2 more before we break off for lunch. Maybe, I think we'll just do 1. We'll do 1, then have lunch after that. He nods and says, "Yeah, I'll be hungry by then."
Merrick is a very good.
Pretty sure I'll be hungry by then. He nods and he says, "All right, the next spot that we're going to is outside. Follow me." And he just kind of walks out the back door
Patio.
on the patio, and then walks off the patio and starts walking around the lake. And just is kind of gesturing you guys forward as
As long as he doesn't walk into the water, I will fall.
he is not walking into the water, so you're good so far.
Okay.
Did you change the name of the episode?
I am
I
also...
did, but if you got in it before, then you would have to refresh it for attack.
I've re-
It's still showing episode 2.
I am also swinging wide.
of the water.
Yeah.
Oh,
Saying, giving it like a good 10, 15, 20
This
feet.
might be you. It's a water check.
I like water.
I'm like 10.
I also have a reasonable act.
Yeah, so I'm athletic.
Perfect. They do take us. He does take you all over, and he walks towards. And he walks towards a large shed that's on the other side of the area. And he says, "The next step that we have here," and he kind of looks around and he says, "is lock picking.
Ooh.
I need you all to be able to get past the locks, get past anything that stops you. Now, this is going to be, again, whoever's best at picking those locks. We're going to be going one at a time." And he kind of opens up the shed, and you see inside that there's a large row of locks on either side of the shed.
I'm specialized in that. No, it's a thieves' tools proficiency.
You either just add and dex.
Yeah,
I think he's higher.
it's dex plus your thieves' tools proficiency, but I am specialized in it.
He has more.
I have a +9.
Yeah, that'd be you then.
He lines up 2 people at once to do it, and kind of just says, "Go." And he starts off with 2 groups. He starts off with a drunken tiefling brother and another half elf from one of the crews that you recognize. He says, "Go," and you get the idea. Or he had explained that what you're doing is you're going from lock to lock and going all the way down and unlocking as far as you can, as quick as you can. And basically that, if you can get all the way to the end, then that's where the time will end for both teams. And if not, then make it, and there'll be a time. He's using this one as a starting point. This time, then that's go. If not, then this. He says, "Start for these guys." The drunken tiefling gets past the first one pretty easy, not too hard. And then the elf also, both of them just kind of breeze past the first lock, no problem at all. The second one, same idea. Both of them just kind of breeze past it. You can tell just by looking at it with your expertise that both of those are very commonly lock styles.
Mm-hmm.
So It's used more as a no one who can't lockpick can get in here kind of an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to the third lock is where you start noticing it's one you've seen, but it's a little.
Mm-hmm.
The drunken halfling or tiefling, I apologize, is having a bit of a rough time with this one. You can see him kind of squinting his eyes and like touching his head every once in a while and pulling it in and trying to get it taken care of.
Get that child a good berry.
Nah,
You're the
he
ranger.
did this to himself.
The half elf, on the other hand, was able to get this one taken care of pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there's 3 more of them. Yeah, 3 more of them. Going to the next one. Well, the halfling gets to the next one. Looks like he's having a bit of a hard time with it at first. And our good friend, the tiefling, is still having a hard time at that one. The half-elf does get that one done before the tiefling finishes. The tiefling does finish shortly after that. So he's 2 behind right now. And the halfling is just having a hard time, still having a hard time. The tiefling is having a hard time, and the half-elf is still having a hard time. And they both finish where they're at, because I think after 10 minutes, where Merrick is going to cut it regardless. And stop! So, the tiefling made it to the 4th lock, and the half-elf made it to... That's where we stopped. There's 6 total. Perfect. That's where we leave off there. He asks for volunteers. Whoever's going, do you want to volunteer for this one or watch it?
I immediately step forward. I'm just like, let's get this over with.
Let's just do this.
Let's do this.
All right. You and You and Bill, who is Syken's companion, both step up to the locks.
I offer him a fist bump.
I don't see why he wouldn't recognize it, so he gives you a fist bump back.
Or the cultural,
No, it's a fist bump. Now,
the culturally appropriate version.
I would say that there's no reason why a fist bump wouldn't be culturally appropriate at this point.
Right.
It's kind of just a gesture. I think he kind of understands what you're trying to get from him with it, whether it's something he would usually have done.
Brief
So,
touch.
yeah, but moving to the next step here. Go ahead and roll for your first one.
I like connect this.
Actually, what's your plus?
+9.
The first one's done. So both on the first one and the second one, you and him both breeze past those ones, no contest. Roll for the third one.
18.
Past it. So you both of you are just going neck and neck. Pass the first, pass the second, pass the third, both on the fourth.
29.
Past it. So both of you guys move on from there. Getting past. You're both on the 5th one now out of 6?
I think so, yeah.
This was very quick for all of you guys. Now go ahead and go.
Let's see. So that's only an 11. If I am going to fail, I can choose to add a d6.
You can tell you're not quite succeeding.
Okay. Let's see if I can. Ooh, nope. That is only a 12.
You do not pass this one, and Bill does continue moving past after a
Ooh,
long.
nice. Good job, Bill.
Now we're on to the last one.
Well, he's on 5 still.
Oh, sorry. We're on to the 6th and the 5th one. I apologize.
Oh, that's a little better.
What you
That's
got?
a 25.
You do catch up on that one.
Mhm.
So you get past and you caught up. He did not pass this one, so you're both
Ooh.
tied on this one. This one's a really... You have never seen a lock like this.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Interesting. So that is an 18.
18 does not pass.
Okay, I'm going to use my last Cybolster knack on this. And... Oh, that only brings it to a 20.
20 does not pass.
Ooh.
But Bill has not passed yet either. He is still working on it, but he's had a little bit more time than you.
Mm-hmm.
Roll for this one.
Let's see. Oh, only a 15.
15? Okay. You did not pass. Bill, however, did succeed in
Nice.
unlocking it this time. And a time is set. And why can I... Merrick says, finished! Stop there.
Yeah.
And so now the time has been set. I think that we are at just about 3 minutes. out of all the
Yeah,
time that
blew
you guys
through
did,
that.
probably just about 3 minutes of time. So he finished it at 3 minutes, and you were on the last one with.
Yeah.
So pretty good stuff.
I stand up. Good job, Bill. I'd really like to spend another half hour with that one. Just turn it inside out.
Bill nods and says, "First time up for me too," and then puts his fist out in the same way you did.
Oh, yeah, Bill is my new friend.
Moving on,
Can we keep him?
I hope so.
Rolf does go next with one of the elves that are in Nizam's party. The elves have a bit of a hard time and only make it to the fourth one by the 3 minutes. And Rolf does make it. He finished the fifth, but hadn't started on the sixth when it ended. Zeta, which is the woman tiefling, moves forward, and she does it with one of the elves from another team. Attempts it, and
I think the last group has to be 3. There's 9 groups.
they're only one of them.
That's fair.
Because there's just a time already set, so it doesn't.
That's fair. You're right.
But there's kind of just anyway. Zeta is doing it, and she finished unlocking the fifth one like immediately after the time was done. So the time was called, and then she finished
I
it.
don't know
and
that's
opened it. Exactly. And then the other half elf that was competing against her made it to the fifth right as it ended. And then that did leave the one group that's going to go by themselves. A halfling steps up and is going, and does pretty good. They get they only get to the fourth.
Where was the Dragonborn?
The Dragonborn didn't do it.
The
So,
Dragonborn
what
doesn't
was our
fight
group?
hand.
not
Not lockpick.
it was one of the.
Okay.
Elves, maybe? Was,
I think I did one of the other groups twice actually, but actually it probably would have been her, but she would have been one of the ones who had made it only finished the. She was the one who would have finished the fourth, but not actually gotten much further in. You could tell that her hands were very good, but she didn't seem familiar with the tools as some of the. But that's where we left off. That would have put you guys pretty high up in the standards as far as how well you did. Technically speaking, you would have been second at. So that lock finishes.
and we made it to the final round of the lap. We're doing it.
Faring pretty well.
That was pretty good. That one finishes, and Merrick says, "Go on, go have lunch, talk for a minute. I need to prepare some things." And he says, "Be back here at the shed in an hour, or like in an hour and a half, something like that."
Short rest.
Basically.
I'm gonna use my spells now. Nah.
Well, I have time. Go make some food. Make some food.
I think I'm gonna spend time just studying that.
Yeah, and if you mention that to him, he kind of leaves it. He gestures to all of them and says, "Please feel free to use any of these that you want this time."
Nice.
I'll go grab you food.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Now, are you wanting to do any socializing or anything? Is this time to? If not, or anything else you want to do before the next events, or should we cut to the next?
I mean, I always love socializing with NPCs.
You were doing quite a bit previously. When you were playing last time you were doing things. But you specifically. But
Yeah.
But so are you wanting to? Bill does stay, and he is messing with some
Yeah.
blocks as well.
Okay.
And he's actually kind of stays and is giving you little hints and tips and
Oh, yeah.
tricks while you're doing
Yeah.
little minor things.
Yeah, talking about. Oh yeah, the third pin on this one is actually a. Man, at one point I knew the right term.
He explains that there's actually a magical component to this
and
one
even a magical component.
where you can actually do it, but there's a trick on their block where you actually have to disable a bottom switch that has nothing to do with the lock itself, but makes it so that the little blocking spell on top, you can actually put the pin up. Because without that little deactivation, it would. Something like that.
Yeah. And
Syken did stay in there with you
Thieves
as well.
tools also includes.
Yeah, but you just didn't realize you needed it.
Yeah.
It was in a different spot.
Mm.
But yeah, so it's both Syken and Bill who actually stay there.
Oh, nice.
And are hanging out with you for a while. You're just getting food and going back
So,
to the
yeah, and I'm gonna look through the shed for any of those scrolls.
That's a good idea.
Go ahead and roll for perception.
Perception?
Yeah.
15.
You don't notice anything in this. And then are you going to be doing anything?
I'm
during
gonna
the
have
hour?
lunch with other people.
Oh, perfect.
Someone we haven't talked to yet, preferably, but not the drunken tiefling.
You want to talk to the beautiful orc?
I also might talk to the little bratty ladies.
Oh yeah, the twins.
The mean
That I don't,
girls?
yeah, the mean girls that I don't realize are actually being mean. And the,
mean girls.
yeah,
One was being mean. One wasn't.
yeah, I'm gonna
Or
talk
at least
to
by
them.
appearance, one was directly being mean.
And if they're eating in like the dining area, I'm gonna bring the pheasant that's stuffed and sit it on the table with. It's gonna
Gonna be a dinner.
They are eating at the table.
gonna sit with me now.
They are sitting with Corin and Delmira at one of the tables.
Who's
So-
down here?
Delmira is the Dragon Ball lady.
I sit with them and say hello.
You say hello to those girls specifically.
Well, to everyone in general, but I'm looking at them. Yeah.
The girls look over to you and say, basically in sync, "Oh hi."
How far can your link go?
Like forever. I don't know. I mean,
You are still linked to Clifford.
yeah, we can still talk psychically.
Cool.
Give me a second.
I don't know if that matters. But you have 5 hours of it.
I do have 5 hours of speaking with
Oh,
them.
weird. I don't have that thing
You probably only got
in
like 2
my
hours.
in my document. Do you have a Tasha's available that I can look at really quick?
I do. It's over there.
Okay, I'll look at it.
I'll be happy.
Or but they have one too, so that might.
Yeah.
You talk to your
I'm
girlfriend,
talking.
and I'll me and
I'm gonna talk to them about compliment them on their clothes, where they what house they found theirs behind. Not because I'm trying to insult them, but that's just because I think that's where you find clothes.
That's where I found
Sure.
her.
The. Oh my goodness.
That's how I got my.
I don't remember. One of them looks at you and says, one of them looks at you and says, "Which house?"
You know, where you get clothes.
She looks at you and can tell that you're being
So
authentic.
Genuine.
The other girl, the one who's wearing kind of the darker clothes, is just glaring at you. Like, not very happy. But the one with the brighter clothes is kind of like looking at you a little confused and like a little half smile, like, I didn't find my clothes behind a house. Did you?
Well,
Ooh,
yeah.
Only if the rules.
Is there a different place to find them?
That's really handy. I think you
She-
failed like 3 of
She
them.
like looks at you like intently almost and
Another one
says,
clear.
"Here, have you never bought your clothes at a
You can get
store
purchased to be
before?"
safe.
No.
And she looks around and says, "If you get through this, you and your crew, then I'll take you shopping."
Really?
She nods, and the sister in the dark clothes rolls her eyes and like turns away in her chair and starts eating. But the other one is still talking.
A nice one.
The nicer one, 100%, is just still talking to you, and is like, "And you found these behind someone's house?"
and you
Yeah.
put together this cute outfit with them.
This is not. I mean, I thought it looked good before, but considering the circumstances, much better than,
Wow, you're so brave.
much better than I would have expected.
Thank you.
You will die.
He nods, smiling, and just says, I hope you guys win, so we can go shopping. We need to find something that matches your collection,
I
not just something
You
behind
guys win, so we can go shopping.
And she smiles and says, we will.
Way to be confident.
She like, her smile kind of fades and you see like a twinge of sad or something peeks out of her smile, and she says, and she like gestures to Corin and Delmira and says, can't lose with these two, and then the smile comes back immediately.
Oh.
No, you're right. You're with a really good group.
You guys were talking to Bill and Simon.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump over there.
Yeah. So I've got a, I don't know how familiar you are with lock sport, but I do have a pinning tray laid out, and I've completely disassembled this lock, and I'm in the middle of putting it together. Putting it back together. And just trying to make half small talk.
I'd like to imagine now, and this is not
Yes.
necessarily true, but I'd like to imagine that there's a little tool on a lockpick that's like a little tiny dispel magic that only works if it is touching the exact room that it, like the exact spot or room that it needs to for it to work on the lock.
Yeah. In some, we can talk about the mechanics of it
Later, yeah.
But I really love the way that some D&D novels portray
Unlocking magic
rogues
locks.
turning off magic defenses. Because, at least in earlier editions, it was specifically something that rogues. But anyway,
But back to the important
that's
stuff.
for a different podcast.
That's for our future podcasts.
Oh, jeez. Can we? Never mind.
No, too late.
That's
Already
a
said it.
conversation for later.
Nope. Already said
Oh, no. All of our viewers are depending on us to.
it. 3 ourselves.
I'm here for you.
Anyway, moving on. So,
Moving on, you have it all laid out.
yeah, and I've just let me see. So how long have you guys been in this business?
And the two of them look at each other and say, "Together?"
In general, I don't know. Answer how you want.
I laugh at that.
Syken says, "All my life
Yeah,
with him, only about 5."
a reasonable amount of time. How about you, Bill?
Bill kind of looks perplexed for a second and says, "Well, in the biz, probably only 10 years, but I was a locksmith before. It pays more to break locks than to make locks.
Well, as long as you're breaking the right lock.
Almost it.
Uh,
But just kind of continues going, and you can kind of see it in the way he works that he's actually better at putting them together than when you were seeing him breaking them, and he was not bad.
I probably
Breaking.
stumble over one of the more complicated little bits, and he just like turns and instantly just like, oh yeah, it goes. I told you this is a weird one. This is how you have to.
Yeah,
set
the
it.
pins do this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I just watch him.
There's just like a little tiny flash of pain over my face right before I say, yeah, I've been in the business almost my whole life too.
And when Syken said it, it didn't look like he was in pain necessarily, but it looked like it was a resigned acceptance more than anything. It's just kind of
like, yeah,
Yeah.
you can say that.
exactly. And he, and then they look at you and say, "What about you?"
In this business,
You know,
probably less time than you guys have been together.
less than 5 years.
How long has our group been together? Did we establish that?
I
for
think
sure?
about 5 years almost.
Pretty
Okay.
close to the same amount. Well,
So-
that's basically when he started them too.
Yeah.
This is
So
about
yeah, like we basically taught you how to be a thief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I turned to
Oh, that's
thievery and I got
precious.
caught real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys taught him how to do it right.
The right way.
Right.
The more right way.
I mostly just talk my way out of things. When
The
I
less
get trouble.
stupid way. No, I'm just-
Yeah. It's like
He was making amateur mistakes, and you fixed at least those amateur mistakes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
even if that's it.
Now you know to case a mansion before you try to climb up the ivy on this.
you don't pretend to be the master and walk through the front door.
Not without makeup.
Not
Not-
usually.
Who needs makeup when you got magic? Oh wait, they had a dispelling thing on their door. Oh,
Dang.
Yeah.
it was a nice mansion.
They might have. That is technically
It
possible.
was just like a small one.
They just had a guard at the door. It wasn't set in stone.
I didn't know that.
I'm just. You guys keep talking about your
Like, yeah,
lock picking and things like that.
I don't know how
Whitney,
to
back
do
to
that.
you. Are you going to be staying on the subject of clothing this whole time? Because I'm sure she'd be happy. Or are you continuing somewhere else?
So we talked about clothing for a minute.
I'm sure.
She definitely educates me about the fact that there are stores dedicated to just clothing.
She also
And I'm
tries mentioning
fascinated.
current fashion, but it
I
kind
don't
of
really
doesn't. Yeah,
get that.
it doesn't work very well for very long. So she kind of just stops talking about fashion and just kind of like close stores as a general idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get whatever you want.
But
You
after
can
we
buy
talk about
shirts
that for
that
a
match your
minute,
pants and shoes. The
That's so
basics. and
After
her
that-
sister is straight up rolling her eyes like every time she says anything. You can feel it emanating off of her sister.
She's kind
I'll probably try to engage the sister more by asking, since I my character doesn't know that they're sisters, they just look a lot alike.
Oh, they're twins. They look exactly alike, but the clothes and the makeup.
But they're different.
They're not the same person.
You're right, they're not.
That doesn't make them.
As you
I'll,
say,
I'll ask them about how long they've known each other as a group
Since
and how they got
our babies.
together.
the sister in black ends up in leaves when you ask that question. The other sister like looks up at her and looks back at you and says, "Dear, we're twins." She sees your look of confusion and continues.
So you hatched them?
Oh jeez.
Now, hatched isn't the word I would use. Can I ask where you're from?
Oh wow, we're getting into character secrets real early.
This one wasn't. Hers isn't really a secret.
That's true.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I tell her what country I'm from, and I can't actually.
are you from the same country as him?
Think I was.
Okay. Yeah, I can look into it.
You just name a
It's
forest.
an Oriole.
That'd be
Yeah, I
fun.
just name a four.
Do you name a forest in a name that she would recognize, or in a name that you knew it by before?
It should be. What's the Fey language? You should just know that in the Fey language.
That seems
Even if you don't
reasonable.
speak Fey.
If you don't,
To
speak,
I
say
don't
something and
speak
so-
Fae, but I probably
you know the name for this.
Yeah, just the
I
name.
would say it in the name
In
the Fae, the Fae,
or
name for
Sylvan,
it.
yeah.
Sylvan name.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the one. Thank you.
Like,
She nods and says, "Now that sounds like elven. Are you from an elven wood?"
maybe?
I ask serious. Through my telepathic think.
Like, where am I from?
What is this in common? Don't.
my response. So I like freeze in place and like visibly panic for a second, and then immediately send back. Don't tell them the truth about this. You'll scare them if you tell them where you're from. Yes, tell them that it's an elven forest. Yeah.
Yes, it's an elven forest after like a long pause.
Huh. Wow. I haven't met many people from the east.
You said you look slightly elvish, right?
I do look slightly elvish.
Yes, and you know that you are from the west of your east.
Not much I do know. I do know.
Yeah, you would know at least that much. But she says, "Huh? Never met anyone from the Elven East."
I just know that she is not good at this, and I'm just like, change the subject, smile, do a little giggle, and change the subject. That's how you lie to people about things. Come on, you can. No, I can't hear that. I'm just.
So how long have you been speaking?
Oh, Delmira took us in and has been helping us for some years now. We're a good distraction.
Oh.
Distractions are useful. It make it so much easier to steal things.
Got my place.
I know.
You do.
I know. You just kind of like, yeah, you're right.
Oh.
Don't like this?
No, it's good. It's much better than alternative. And she says, it's not important. It's not important. And she's like, let's get back to clothes.
Okay.
And we'll go back to you guys. Is there anything else you guys want to focus on? Or is that pretty much what you were doing, was just start building?
I mean, my character is not particularly charismatic. He's just practiced at lying. So, Cirrus probably just continues chit-chatting about the mechanics of locks and a little bit of stealing craft and
Yeah.
what kinds of what kinds of targets do you guys usually aim at? You know, like I don't want to.
They basically explain that what they do is he says usually when we're hired for crews, we kind of are considered funding. Is what they do with their fingers. We generally will get to the area early and just start casing as many high-profile places as we can to fund, while not bringing any attention to ourselves. He gestures to Syken and says, "Now, Syken, he is not as good with his hands as me," says, "but he's got some handy tricks." And then Syken, you kind of like see him put his hand out like this, and then another hand appears above it, and he pushes it over towards one of the locks and unlocks one of the locks with the mage hand from 20 feet away.
Yeah.
And says, "It's handy to have doors open when you're not standing at them. Makes it a little easier to get inside of places during more reputable times."
That does seem handy. I wish I could do that.
He like looks at him and he's like, I don't think I can teach you that trick.
Oh, no worries. Not worth the... Oh, wait. It's too late for me to multi-class that way anyway. I mean...
What?
I mean...
Who said words? Was not I. Are you doing that because they can't see my fingers?
Yeah.
I'll have to put it in front of my face whenever I do any hand motions from now on.
Yeah.
I was looking at the camera when you were doing it, like, yes.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Anyway.
No, what I actually say is more along the lines of, yeah, I guess my skills are a little bit different from that anyway. You can't count on a dragon to till a field. Oh,
They both get perplexed but kind of considering looks on their face, and they say, "Huh, guess not. Guess you can't get a dragon to till a field."
Oh. You ever seen a dragon? I've heard legends about him.
They all, I've never ever seen him. I don't think he's the one.
I don't believe it.
Syken says, seen some bones, I think, might have been dragons, but people also call, there's things called dinosaurs, I guess. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. I mean, dogs and wolves look a lot the same.
Yeah, maybe it's like
So
that.
maybe it's like
dragons
that.
and dinosaurs are like that. I don't.
Uh,
It looked pretty scary, but I've also seen giant lizards. Their heads look pretty close.
Yeah. Huh.
And then Bill says, "Dragons are real,
I
or
just
at least,
shake my
or
head.
at least they were before the emergence.
Oh yeah.
hmm
Ah.
Don't know if they're on this planet, but they're real somewhere." And he kind of, "Oh, you guys,
I'm just
mark my words." He doesn't point it.
nah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
He says, "Why would we call them Dragonborn? Would we call them Lizardborn?"
That's true. Where did that word even come from? You know.
We'll go back to
Legends
you
of
for a
Man.
minute.
I'm just like dragons.
Oh,
They don't
you-
exist.
you're
She's
just
specifically
100%.
talking about different fashions of types. Like, she really likes her.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. She thinks that if it matched a little bit better with your shirt, it would look much better, but even as it is, it looks...
Does it not match?
No. And she starts talking about the color wheel.
Oh my gosh, are you colorblind? I mean, I don't think real crows, but like you could be.
I mean, I'm not, but I also think in like the sense of like the way
Like,
like
just
crow's
like-
feathers
just
kind of
like-
have that like
Shimmery sheen.
shimmery sheen to it that make them look like different colors. So I feel like all colors go with the color black because black
yeah.
is all colors.
And she explains that black does go with pretty well all colors, but not two different colors at the same time, because while black goes with them, those two colors that are going with the black don't go with each other.
Color theory. We're diving in.
Okay. So if my shirt matched my pants,
She
would
says,
my cloak be okay?
We'll get into it. And she
Oh,
looks
darling.
over and says, "It looks like it's about time to get going, though."
Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, you would notice that some people had already started walking over there. You guys aren't the last to leave, but definitely not the first to leave. Tavern either. You guys start noticing that people are getting back to the front of the shack where you guys are practicing. But once everyone's finished with that little hour-ish long lunch that we've been talking about here, Merrick gets back, comes in from no, he's not. He comes in through the woods a little bit and says, "All right, everyone, follow me this way." And you guys go into the woods for a short time, following Merrick. When you get to the next spot, you see a large, just huge pit has been dug. It looks like there's a river that comes into the lake here. They dug a pit like right next to that river, filled up this huge pit with water, and have these huge bamboo sticks through it, up to a top, like up to this spire where it looks like it's been built up. And he says, "Here's the next location, everyone. We are going to be seeing your acrobatic skills." And he gestures and says, "You'll be running up those all the way up to the top there." And he gestures up to the top. He says, "I'm going to go up there the long way." And he like points around the hole. Says, "Around the hole." And then and says, "The rest of you are going to choose one person from your group to go the short way as I'm up there."
A question not pertaining to this DM.
Oh, okay, yes.
What was the nice twin's name?
Yes, good question.
Because I probably did ask that. I don't want to remember.
Yes, good question.
Let's go find that out again.
I think it's Arla.
Arla?
Or rather, it's Arla.
It will be from now on.
Mm-hmm. Perfect, yeah. So Arla was the one who was willing to speak to you, and she did mention her sister Nesta.
So, the most acrobatic of us.
Are you the most acrobatic?
I have a +6.
Yep.
It's the one-man show.
Sorry, I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I probably could do this and just turn into my pro form, but I feel like that's
I don't
cheating.
think that would work for the purpose.
Yeah.
I'd say we're specifically testing our acrobatics skill. So.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of testing skills, Risa and I were looking at my my skill features again, and I didn't actually use up all of my resources because they get refunded if the roll fails anyway.
Which is cool.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm sorry I didn't let you re-roll that last. I mean, I would have let you, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry I partially discouraged.
I mean, I also just used up
Okay.
the last one, or I thought I had.
But anyway, perfect. So, guess we're gonna go back to Paxton
Oh
here.
boy.
Sorry, Paxton, you are the one-man show, as it turns out. I'm really sorry, Grace. You haven't done as much this round.
That's okay.
What happens when he
When I don't play a rogue.
forbids magic? And
Maybe
Sorry. It's not quite forbidden, but it's not used yet.
I'm more a charisma on all my skills.
if you were a sorcerer and you could subtle spell, it would be easier.
However, we are moving on to the next one. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be rolling. There's going to be a number of different... You can see where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like all of the... There's multiple rows, and he lines up everyone before he leaves. So there's 9 rows of these bamboo spikes going up... Not spikes, but poles going all the way up to the top. Excuse me, sorry. And you see there's a couple spots where it looks like there's actually multiple holes dug. Oh my gosh. Digging. Can't word today. That's okay.
Word.
Word's hard.
So you can see little platforms with ladders up to them. Or like ladders. You can see that there's a ladder up to where you're standing, but not a ladder on the other side. But you can see that there's a larger platform, and he does explain that there's a ladder that gets you back up onto that platform if you fall after that.
Gotcha.
So as a checkpoint.
Basically, there's multiple. Where if you make it past this first area, then they're not going to make you go all the way back to the beginning. But let's go ahead and we're going to get started. Roll for an acrobatics. Roll 5 times. Sorry, roll 5 times for your acrobatics check. You're trying to get from your first spot to the last spot, or to the next platform.
Perfect. I'll just roll them all at the same time.
Deal.
Can you pick which order, or do you want?
Well, I'll do this.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter.
So I start off with a 22,
Mm-hmm.
and then my next one is an 18, and then my next one starts off as a 12. Does it look like I'm gonna be okay? Because it does say I only have to use that if my attempt.
Yes.
I can know whether or not.
That one succeeded.
And then an 11, and
Succeeded.
then a 14.
Succeeded.
Okay, nice.
So you start going, and you succeed, all the way up to the first platform. And
It was a good jog.
you see Nizam is next to you, and he just runs like it's nothing.
That's the beautiful
The
orc.
beautiful half-orc
Right.
runs past you, and just like runs like it's nothing, gets to that platform, and continues like there was
Like he
not
does
a
the
platform to
handspring
stop
on the
at.
platform and onto the next.
Basically, yeah. Like he just goes. There's no stopping here at
Oh
all.
man.
Um,
I have to pause for a second and just watch him go by.
it's
That's
amazing.
magnificent. Wait,
That's
is that-
magnificent.
wait, are his wow, is all
Yes, whatever you're saying.
it's just glistening with oil.
Daily. Oiled daily.
And nightly.
Multiple times.
It looks like they oiled up all of his muscles right before he started he's just glowing with health and beauty.
Now,
Vitality.
it's hard to say if it's oil or sweat. He could also just be an extremely sweaty person.
I mean,
Sign of
honestly,
health.
But it looks like it's just luscious oil.
What's the difference?
The smell.
Ah.
I'm just like,
Roll your next 5.
Yeah.
I guess 1 sec. I
Yeah.
could actually. You can keep that one if you want, or you can
Okay.
get rid of it. I don't know.
I mean, I like that.
you can keep
So
it if you
I'm
want.
keeping it.
One of so the Bard family, they do make it there as well. Sykin's the one doing this one, and he makes it to the first platform. I already said that Nizam just literally blows past the first platform like he didn't realize it started yet. Arla is doing this one, and she's doing pretty well. And she does make it to that first platform. Zeta, the tiefling, makes it. A half-elf makes it. One of the drunk tieflings makes it and almost falls off as soon as they make it to the first platform. Like, gets to the platform and doesn't realize that anyway.
Mhm.
And then a human from the last group does make it. Going on, go ahead and finish here.
Oh boy, these are mostly lower ones. So 22 to start,
Makes it.
and then a 9.
Does not make it,
Looks
so
like
go
I'm
ahead
not
and
making it, but that turns it to a 14.
does not make it.
Oh boy, I hop over the next one and just almost reach it, and I just fireman's pull down it.
Yeah, that's real
I
unfortunate.
it looked like I was gonna, but I was barely able to stabilize and get down safely.
You did not make it. So you'll be going back.
Yep.
Back to that first platform, which will take the rest of those rolls in considerable time.
Mhm.
Sykin falls shortly after you go past. I saw it shortly after you fall, like one pull
Mhm.
up, you see Sykin fall. You don't see Nizam at all anymore.
He's done.
Arla, you see, does make it to the next platform. Zeta makes it to the next platform. The half elf from the next group does make it to the next platform. The tiefling brother, does not make it and actually fell before you fell. And the human in the next group falls. And you're going to go back to that second one. I have people who aren't still affected. Okay, go ahead and roll for this one.
Oh boy, this is getting bad. What was this one again? Was it a
I think it was a
9?
9.
I remember it, which is lower than what it turned into. So, okay. So my first one's a 16, and my second one is starting as an 8, which means that the highest I can possibly get is a 14.
Yeah.
So I'm not even
No, you won't make that
gonna
one.
attempt that one. Oh, sliding down, getting a little frustrated. I think, how high up is this first platform?
It's far enough that you can't like jump up to get to the poles again, but it's not.
What if I triple my jump height?
You might be able to jump straight up.
There are no magic one on this.
Yeah, this one's a no magic as well.
Yeah.
Careful.
Well, jump literally does not improve my acrobatics skill. All it does is make me jump.
But can you jump from platform to the next?
How far away is it?
Pretty far.
Yeah, probably.
It's because it's basically a full jump or a full like jump, like a full stride, a running stride, like a full running stride basically, or a full jump to get to each of the.
So it's like 6 to 7 feet
Yeah.
in between each one.
So you
And there's 5 of
technically-
them.
Yeah, there's
It
well, there's 5 jumps, so there's
Yeah.
4 poles and then the platform.
Gotcha.
So you
My strength score
keep
is...
in mind it goes up each time as well, so
Yeah,
it's not. just-
so I probably would not be able to make the whole jump even
Yeah.
with a jump spell. I could get close, but probably not worth it.
Not worth the chance of getting. Yes,
Qualified.
Okay.
I just looked over and saw your comment, Grayson.
He is a gorgeous half orc.
True.
Back to this story, though. Shalantha does make it further. Who is Ralph's wife, the Bard family? Sykin again falls, but after getting a little bit further than you this time, instead of only like the one step further, he made it nearly to the end and then slipped at the last pull. Still definitely don't see Nizam anymore.
Which is really too bad.
It would have been nice. And I don't think that anyone else is. Oh, and the drunken halfling or the drunken tiefling also just fell, and it looks like he's like just slogging his way back, like way slow. Like he might not make it to jump with you guys next time. Anyway, let's go ahead and roll for your next one here.
Okay, I'm gonna roll these one at a time, just because. Maybe we're okay. So that's an
Could be
18, and that's a 15,
Good.
and that is starting at a 7. That's probably not even gonna make it, even if I have the D6.
Whoa. Hey, you made it further.
And it's that same die. Notice.
That one gives
Here.
you
This is
one.
that
every
same
Trade it
time.
out. Next time.
You are in jail. I'm usually not a proponent of dice jail, but in this case,
That's a lot of ones it's giving you tonight.
I am anti-incarceration in general, not just for dice. But in this case, I will make an exception.
Especially for dice.
That's an awful lot of ones. It's not in jail. It's in rehabilitation.
Right.
Jump better.
Jump better. Your team's trying to encourage you. Was that a?
Oh,
was
you
that
want
a
me to
help
jump
action?
better, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know how much of an assist it is.
It's not.
That even if it were, it would only help me on that first one. I've been getting that one fine every time.
I don't even know if you can hear me.
You can hear him. He's only gotten to the first one. Oh, you fall. As you're getting up, you're like right behind the drunken tiefling who's trying to get back up too for the next one. He didn't even go this time at all.
Yeah.
Syken does make it to the next one.
How far away is the tiefling from me?
What? Which
The
tiefling?
drunk one?
Yeah, the one who's incredibly hungover.
Literally going up the ladder.
Okay.
So not ahead of. He's not ahead of you. He's on the same platform.
Oh, gotcha.
You and him are the only ones.
Well,
on
I
that
mean,
first
like,
platform.
can I like
You could. I mean, he's above you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, like, I'll hurry like, on the platform and like slap him on the back. We got this. Come on.
Yeah.
One
sounds
more.
good.
One more try.
You see that Nizam is pretty much up to where Merrick's at this point.
Yeah.
And everyone else is just scattered in between.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll for this one.
Let's try this again.
Come on, big.
No. So that's
The
a
first
7
one might
on
be
this
okay.
one. You want?
Can a 13
Let me
make
see
it?
if I. Ooh, no, that
Can
is
an 11
that's
make
an
the
11.
first jump?
Roll that first one with advantage for me really quick, and I'll tell you why if it works.
Okay, so that turns into a 15. If I
Perfect.
include the.
The drunken tiefling
Mhm.
helps you. As you're falling, he catches you on the first pole because he was falling too, and you both catch each other to keep your balance on your first ones. Roll your second
Yes.
one.
That looks pretty good, actually.
We got this, man.
got this.
And that is an 11 to start.
You got this.
And
15.
it's a 15 now.
You
Woo!
got the second. You got the second one.
You're doing all right.
Use one of these.
man.
Okay.
I hope you realize how hard this is to watch.
I hope you realize how hard it is to do. Oh no! That's an 8.
It's not meant to be.
It's just not meant to be. Even if I add mine, it only gets to a 14 maximum. So
I'm sorry. You're done.
I think that I make it, and I cheer and lose my footing, and just
And
kind
fall
of
the wrong direction back in.
yeah. And I'm able to roll into it, but I just end up on my back, just laughing hysterically.
The drunk tiefling doesn't make it any further.
He tries to reach for you
He
again.
falls in right after saving you. Like right after, it just
No.
fell right in.
He didn't even try to jump the next.
He was only able to stay up on the first jump because of your mutual assisted help.
So I get up on my hands and knees, and then I offer to help him up, and I just say, I always use magic when I'm doing this stuff in a real heist. Or in a real job.
I can't watch it anymore. And I turn around.
I just pointed the half orc and like,
He's fallen in the water so many
I can't.
She's like, I'm so worried for him.
I like splash some water toward you. It's fine, look.
Anyway, now he got to the end.
I give you like
so,
a crow hiss.
Yeah.
So he finishes. Merrick ends it. Merrick ends the competition when Nazi makes it the end.
It's so good.
Oh wow.
This distribution?
That was so funny. Okay.
Oh. That's what I get for hogging the spotlight, so.
The dice hated you that round. I've never seen so many ones and twos.
there was a lot of fives too.
And if you want to hear me talk about why D&D is a bad game,
This is it.
this is
Whatever his
part
block
of
is.
one of those reasons. But anyway,
Oh, it's okay though. Your competence should have done better for you, is what we're stating here. But they were really slippery, especially after you failed the first time.
You were wet.
You were wet, and then the bamboo sticks were harder to stand on. It's such a rough time. But that's okay. He gathers everyone up again. Merrick does, I mean. And he
We don't
says,
have to win every.
oh no. We just have to be like in the middle of the pack, on average.
Well, they might only hire 2 people.
a total of. He mentioned how many he was
Oh.
planning on keeping, and a total of 4 are going.
Okay.
So yeah, we
4 out
literally-
of the 9.
You gotta be the top.
Like, we
at
literally
least-
need to be in the top 5.
At
of
least
the
4 out of them.
that middle of the pack overall.
Yeah.
Fine.
Depending on the actions of the 5th, we may consider.
We might suck enough that he doesn't
It
want us.
depends, but 4 or 5 groups is how many he's keeping. And so 4 or 5 is how many he's eliminating.
Excellent.
However, we move forward. Merrick says, "Good effort from everyone. That was good. You," and he points at the half orc, "are a sight to behold." I do say so myself, sir. And he turns and he spins his cane a little bit, and then he says, "This way," and points in the next direction, walking. He moves forward and he gets to this large cave, and he says. He gets to the cave entrance and he says, "Now this cave is one of my... You could call it a stronghold or a hidey hole. It's what it is. I had it magically enchanted as kind of a rabbit hole to stow away in when he kind of flips his hand around a little bit and says, that's not the important thing. The important thing is that there is the door itself is only supposed to let in myself. I'm going to have you guys go and convince it otherwise." He gestures and says, "One at a time, one of you will be going in to convince the door that it should let you in, not just me. You can decide how you'll convince it of that. If you convince it that you are me, feel free. Again, there will be no magic in this competition."
Like,
So this is an individual
Color.
thing and not a group thing.
All of them are well within your
I got this.
I mean,
One person
Is it-
per group, yeah.
okay.
One person per group will go in. When you go
That is
in,
what I-
if you convince it within 10 minutes, then you just have to pick up an item from inside my stronghold. I will recognize any item that you find in there, not a large room, and bring it out to me, and I can confirm that you can.
I've,
Go for it.
I've convinced worse.
Couple people go in.
Let's see here.
Sorry, I
Me too.
Nice. Yeah, you should take
I think there's
1
a,
or 2 levels.
I think there's a Pete that gets it.
Yeah,
a bunch of people do go in. The first person who goes in is Rolf, the Barbs,
Oh yeah.
and comes out just a couple minutes later. Does
He
not
probably
take
just-
it very long at all.
No magic.
He did go in with a flute. Not that that matters too much, but he did go in with a music. Well, the next person who went in was
Bardic
Bill.
music.
Bill was not, I repeat, was not able to.
Who?
Bill.
He,
Bush.
he
Bill
meant to-
Brushcloak.
Bill. He
That's-
probably meant to get in there again.
Didn't
That's
work
fair.
though. The next person who goes in is Ariel, who is one of the elves with the half-orc. She comes back and does have an item from inside. It took her quite a bit longer than it though. Also, there's the tavern keeper is actually inside in that room.
Probably meant that.
Yes, he does mention that the tavern keeper is in there, keeping an eye on everyone who goes in
Mm.
to make sure that no magic is. The next person who goes in is Arla, actually, who goes in and comes back out pretty much at the 10-minute mark with an item from inside. Zeta goes in and does succeed pretty much at that same 10-minute mark. And then it's your turn.
Okay.
Crush it.
Go in.
You got this.
You walk in, you see the tavern keeper on one side, and then you see a giant stone door with a face carved.
Nice.
Hello, my good friend.
Hello!
Hey, Merrick told me to come in here. We're just going straight up first.
No.
I turn towards the keeper, or the barkeep. My face flickers to Merrick's face, and then flickers back, and I'm like, this is so frustrating.
You know.
I am Merrick. And I try to speak exactly like him.
Roll for persuasion.
Or deception, since it's
Or
a
deception,
lie.
whichever's
Or
higher.
performance.
I don't care. Roll for one of those things.
That's only a 10.
You see its eyes, like, you hear and see its eyes go and look at you. You're not Merrick.
Clearly I'm Merrick. What do you mean? If I wasn't Merrick, why would I be here trying to get into my space?
Roll again.
That's a 20. Total.
You have a point. Small one. You see its like eyes squint slowly. No, I will not let you in. This is not right.
I'm pretty sure this is right. We always argue like this. You just let me in not too long ago.
There's a long period of time. Roll for persuasion here.
That's a 16.
True. Why are you back so soon?
Want to admire my stuff? I actually needed some of it for some things. But that's beyond you.
Hmm.
Looks down at you again. You are not Merrick.
I went over this. If I wasn't Merrick, why would I be trying to get into my safety or my hidey hole?
Already passed that one.
Yeah.
Try something
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, he's a different argument.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I'm not doing this. You've
Yeah.
had successes so far.
Yeah. Okay. Trying to think of other stuff I would go with.
Just wanted to make sure that was made clear.
Yeah.
You haven't been unsuccessful, just not.
That's just
It's multiple success. Alright.
yeah. Trying to think of other phrasing.
Have you told it that you're wearing a disguise? or tried insulting the door's
Intelligence.
vision or intelligence. Or
How bright is it in here?
I mean, it's bright to see.
Is it dim light or is it bright light? It's like you clearly can't see from that distance.
It's probably bright because there's torches right next
That's
to
right.
it, and then
Well, if they're right
dimmer
next to
further
it, it
from
can't
you
see
get.
it. Like, here, let me step closer into the light. You need to get a better look at me. I clearly am Merrick in a disguise. I didn't get inspiration from anywhere.
Oh.
22.
Its eyes roll back down again.
That's just like the best image because like rolls back up.
Yeah.
Slow.
It rolls back down slowly, looks at you, and says, "Oh, you're right. I didn't recognize you. Sorry, Mary. Sorry."
I should have said
And it
it.
slowly creaks open to let you
oh
in.
jeez.
I just look at the barkeeper dude and I'm like, walk in.
There's it just looks like a general safe room. Like it's like a one room. It's got a seating area. It's got like a little fireplace that, without a fire in it. It's got a desk. It's got all this stuff, and then just like kind of miscellaneous knickknacks up on like shelves.
He said just to bring something out of this room. Can I bring the cushion from the chair?
I don't see why not.
I'm gonna do that.
You come
I
out.
think it's funny.
You come out with the cushion. Everyone else had brought out like a knickknack.
Yeah.
Or a pretty thing or whatever. You come out with a cushion. Merrick raises his eyebrow at you and says, "Well done." This was probably just about 5 minutes in or so, maybe a little less than 5 minutes of you trying to convince the door that you.
Yeah.
Like, do we hand it to him or do we just hold on to it?
You're holding it for now.
If it's not too dirty, I'm gonna sit on it.
Fair enough. We go ahead and sit on it then. The next people who go,
That's what I was thinking.
one of the drunken brothers walk up to it and they come back out about 10 minutes and 30 seconds in with an item from in there. And they're like, "I did it." Yes. And Merrick, "I'm sorry, you're a little past time." And you just see him deflate.
Oh.
Ah. Really thought I'd gotten this one. And he says, "Oh well."
Oh.
That's Levi, you know.
I go pat
That's
him on the
Levi.
head and be like, it's okay.
One of the a human goes in from one of the other groups, does not get in for 10 minutes. An elf goes up and does get in after about 7 minutes, or at least comes back out after about 7 minutes. So, yay! You guys are one of the ones who made it in, and it didn't take too long. It was only like 5 or 6 rolls total. Pretty good.
4.
I know, doors are so frustrating. Perfect. We'll go ahead. After that, Merrick says, "Good, we've got that all taken care of here. The next one that we're going to be doing isn't going to start until after dinner. Says, so everyone go get some rest, go do what you need to do, get some supper, and then we'll have one more competition today once night is fallen. And then you guys are free to go. You guys have probably got like multiple hours to
Nice.
I'm gonna chill, but also look for more scroll things. Socialize.
cool. Let me know where you're looking. You found 3 total so far? 1 blue and 2 green?
3 green, 1 blue.
3 green, 1 blue.
We have found 4.
I don't think there's many that haven't been found yet.
Yeah.
But where would you be looking?
I'm gonna walk around the building. Are there any other windows for?
1. If you go all the way down to the end of the building on the bottom, let me go ahead. There apparently are not showing, but there should be windows.
Try and sneak in one of them.
Inside one of those windows.
Check and make sure that like not anybody in the room, and then I want to shoot.
I don't currently see anyone in. Go ahead. And it doesn't seem to be locked. So.
Check it for traps.
The
Or
window?
check it for traps or like triggers or alarms or like
Roll.
something like that.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah.
Awesome.
This is an investigation.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Six.
Yeah.
Nice. You don't see anything.
I open that window.
Deal. Go on in.
I go in the window.
No, you're good. Nothing. I know. Crazy.
I'm gonna check this
Nothing.
room for anything that one of those scrolly things possibly.
Roll for perception.
I don't know why I'm rolling in the one that's so far away from me.
I don't know either. We moved from one.
I know.
Oh, there's two. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, that's the power of my sleight of hand, apparently.
Or
Can I
mine.
use perception
observance.
for this?
Can you use perception for this?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. Yeah. Use perception.
Oh, okay. 13. 14.
14. Math's right.
Hands are-
You don't see anything in this.
I'm gonna sneak into the hall.
Oh, there's a window. You went in that window instead.
Okay.
I was like, I know I put a window in there.
And
Where are you going in that hallway?
I want to check the door that's across the hall.
This one?
It is unlocked. You open it. you see inside.
Is it empty?
Opening the door, you see that there's no one currently in there. There's a large bed here, the largest you've seen, with a large fireplace in the room, a bare rug on the floor, a couple desks, or a desk, and then a lot of bookcases.
I'm gonna spend some time in this room looking. Rolls.
Roll for perception.
I borrow one of mine.
I'm just gonna use a different dice.
Are you sure? Because I've got one that's real.
I'm
Real
really
hopeful.
positive I don't want to use that one.
Here, I'll blow on it.
Oh,
I'm in
Should it
sure.
work?
did it work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
It's okay. It wasn't a 1.
That-
It was
That
double
is
digits.
a 20.
20 total?
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. It's
Uh.
perception, it's right.
20 total.
Thanks for
Soon I can make it so the game does it for you if you really wanted. But as
Should
you're,
just get better at that.
as you're exploring this room and
Just jump on the
searching
bed.
and jumping on the bed, apparently, no, I'm just kidding. You do
I did not
actually
do that.
you see something over in the bookcases, a little bit odd. It looks like a false panel.
Look at
You lift up the false panel, and one of the bookcases starts slowly sinking in. Actually, I apologize. Let me rephrase. The bookcase raises a little bit up the wall, and then the floor sinks down in.
Ooh.
Looking down in there, you see that it goes basically straight to a stone wall, but there is a one of the scrolls is on the ground right next to the wall that you see.
I will.
You take it.
And then I'm gonna look at the wall and be like,
That's
what? Like a hidden
Okay.
room, or is there another door?
There's some writing on the wall that looks like it is.
Yeah.
You recognize Merrick's signature. and then kind of a circular imprint underneath it. And then you see another person's signature next to it.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm gonna take note of the other and then I'm.
Deal. Sounds like a
And-
plan.
Does putting back the default panel thing close it again?
Yeah, once you slide down the panel back into the floor, the bookcase comes down as the floor again comes. I guess not you can, but
I will just leave.
deal, get out of there.
Yeah. Is this scroll a different color?
It's purple.
It's purple.
Has a purple ribbon around.
Best color
Purple
ever.
ribbon.
Perfect. All right. Are we doing anything else, or is there anyone you guys are wanting to talk to or interact before we do that?
I'm just making. I don't think I have the role play.
I think I want to take a look at the common room and see if there are any groups that are all in. Is like everybody in here?
Like in a full group.
Most everyone's in here. But some of the full groups that you definitely see is that Bill and Syken are definitely both in here.
Mm-hmm.
Zeta and her group of 3 are there.
Which group is Zeta in again?
Zeta is with a halfling and a halfling.
Okay.
She may be not one of your
She's
names.
with Syken.
She's not with Syken.
Not with Syken?
Yeah, she's
Syken and Bill are together.
Okay.
They are a
Zeta
group
is
of
with a different app.
Correct.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember, keep everybody straight.
Yeah, there's 9 groups total, so I totally.
Yeah.
And Zeta is a girl tiefling, one of the drunk
Oh.
tieflings, Zeta,
Gotcha.
which is very sick.
And Zeta.
And all of there's only 3 groups that are here in full. The other one is the Bard family is actually, they're just kind of, they're floating around the room, but they're all in the common. So they're not together, but they're all in.
Okay.
They're at miscellaneous tables near other groups.
All right. I want to get an idea of who is in which.
Okay.
Let's see.
You know, here,
And by that I mean who is sleeping in.
like sleeping right now, or
No, just
Yeah.
which groups are assigned to.
so you guys know
And
this one is you.
We don't necessarily have to know that specifically meta narratively. I just want my character to try to get that.
Her character figures it out.
Yeah, there's no reason. Or at least you figure out most of them. It's not really that.
Yeah. I'm just starting to case other groups' runs. There's nothing.
Whitney basically already did it.
And she went in there early.
Well, yeah, but I want to go in there at the last minute to make sure that anything that any.
As to how we wanted. So your group was in the white.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. We knew that Bill and Syken were in the yellow room. You know their name.
Again.
Yeah, we'll say that's. Why does it turn purple? Oh, because it's cool.
We can fill this in, unless you're planning on us being.
It depends, but you know what we can do right now anyway. It is 8:46. Let's go ahead and take our 15-minute break here, and
we
then
go.
be back for the last hour anyway. So we will be back here shortly Just a couple things we'll do. I might fill this out a little bit while we're in between, but we'll be back in about 15. All right, and we are back.
Hello.
We are back, and Grayson's laughing hysterically.
Looks like he wasn't paying to me, but
Oh,
I was
maybe
laughing.
Maybe it was a different.
It was a
perspective.
silence.
I
For the
do have
viewers.
these updated to say where everyone's staying, as far as a quick one person at least of where they're staying, and we are back from our little break. Now, Grayson, you said that you had a plan for what you were doing
During this break. I'm gonna go into our room. I'm gonna go into my lantern. If I can hear anything that happens outside my lantern, like I was there,
Oh,
well, I'm just gonna hang out in there and grab my jacket and my hat that I left in there yesterday.
cool. Sounds good.
But I might take a little nap.
I mean, you got some time.
Yeah.
Just oversleep it, I guess.
I just told you guys to come get me when it's time.
Oh.
Knock on it.
Oh yeah.
I can hear you
Yes.
guys. Walk into the room.
I'm never gonna understand how your weird magic
Your weird magic
Thing.
lantern.
works, but okay.
whatever you do, don't hack it.
I'll do my best not to.
Yeah, he's the one I struggle with. He's the
Cool.
one who's broke it before. I'm gonna take care of my tree inside. The joke.
What kind of tree do you have inside?
Um,
What does it look like inside your lantern?
it's got a lot of cushions on the ground. Got a bookshelf, a small little 3-foot tall bookshelf, a meter tall bookshelf with books on it.
Your shelf.
Yeah, a meter tall. And then in the center, I have a tree in a pot.
Kind of tree.
It's from my
big is it?
homeland.
Is it?
So
It's a
it's,
tree.
it might be a rowan. Because you said my homeland is Scottish.
Or
And rowans apparently grow there.
I mean,
Correct us if we're wrong.
as you wish. I haven't gotten quite into the
it's
world
his job
details.
to
Not yet. We gotta have to get.
I haven't gotten quite into the details enough to know the specific trees in it, but maybe.
I want to say it's a rowan until.
Something to change it for some
yeah.
reason. Deal. Okay, so
But I just take care of that. A little bonsai. It's actually like 2 meters tall or so, but because it's a pretty big room, so it's about it's a 10-foot diameter circle, and it goes 20 feet up.
Oh, so it's a big old. Okay.
Yeah, so
He would not be able to
it's
get
like
back
6
in
feet
his
tall.
lantern
Yeah.
if his lantern were to break.
If somebody breaks my lantern, the tree's staying where it appears.
Okay. Because I'm looking at real world Rowan bonsai. I'm sorry. I will give Cameron a picture of this so that he can add it to something later, if he wants. And these real life modern day Rowan bonsais look sick, and most of them are very small.
Yeah, mine's a lot bigger than that, but
You've had it a lot longer.
I've had it growing for. I basically put this in when my lantern last broke.
sometime within the last 5 years.
Yes. Because somebody broke it.
What?
But
Huh?
anyways, yeah, I'm just taking care of that, and then I'll take a 10-minute nap and read
Deal.
until time.
Okay. Moving to the next part here. You guys are just kind of generally. You said you were generally just talking with people. Nothing specific. Was there anything you were specifically doing, Paxton? 'Cause you wanted to know where the rooms were.
I just want to can I roll investigation to just to get an idea of, or I guess I already know who is
You
in
can
which
tell
room.
who's in it. Yeah.
Whether
it's because
I-
there's literally music.
I don't want
Nothing
to
sound.
actually steal anything from anyone,
Oh?
but I do
Not yet.
want to my brain just died.
9 o'clock's the end of thinking time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean 9 a.m. is the end of thinking time, really. But anyway, I
I'll allow.
Muscle memory picks up.
right. I just want to get an idea of where people are keeping, so that in the future, if I choose to steal anything from others, faster and easier.
A lot of them have equipment in their chests that are under their beds that you can see. Some people just have some things out, like the Bard family, the Rolf rooms do just have some, like, expensive, who knows, but some of them look good quality, or at least they all look like they're good quality, price wise. And the only one that looks like they don't have really anything in the Bill and Syken. They have like one or two, like they have clothes in there, and that's it. They don't have any items.
Gotcha.
And then you do know that there's a whole wagon outside in the front that is Ralph's and his wagon. So.
Do I see anybody keeping in clothes?
You
Just from my quick look around without a skill check?
No, you didn't see anything based on quick observation.
Ooh.
A couple of the times you open the room, people that might not have had much time to actually. And just like a quick.
Cool beans.
Whitney, were you talking to anyone or just kind of waiting for?
Kind of waiting for the night to come. I do want to note that the pheasant has.
Okay. Yeah, that sound.
It's not on our mantle, it's on my bed.
Deal. You now have a pheasant on your bed.
Yep.
A stuffed pheasant. Perfect. Sounds good. Well, we will move on to once it starts to get darker outside. Not that it matters much on this, because there's on the map that we'll be using, but it is getting darker outside. Becomes nighttime here. Now, once we start getting into this, Merrick, once it starts getting dark outside here, starts calling everyone into to the balcony or that back deck again, and just says, "All right, everyone, we're going to be heading over towards the woods." And he points across the lake again, and starts walking out. He gets to the wood. Everyone gets over there. Everyone's walked over there. Merrick stops and says, "The next part here is going to be a mix of two things. First is going to be to steal an item without being seen. The second is to see the people trying to kind of just says, all right, I need volunteers for who's willing to be my lookouts." And our good friend Corin raises his hand. Syken raises his hand, and
I can see in the dark.
Do it.
and you raise your hand.
Yeah.
And just says, "You three are going to be my lookouts. Come with me." And then when the other two, Eric, walk into the woods, he takes you a little bit further in and says, "All right, here's the plan." And he hands you each one. He hands you each one flag that looks like it could go around a branch or trunk pretty easy. Says, "This is for you. Need you to find a place here, not too far, but find a place here to put one of these. You're going to tie it on, have to walk away from it at least 15 feet, but do not get further than 60."
Sounds good.
Nods and he says, "Perfect. Now keep an eye on it. Your job is to try to make it so that anyone who comes to try to take them is able to." And it pauses and says, "And you have to stay close so that they have a general idea of where." Yeah, go ahead. Yes, you.
Magic, yes or no?
No.
Simple enough.
If you see anyone or notice anyone's using magic, please let me. He nods. All right. He comes back to you, the rest of the group, and says, I'm going to be sending all of you to go and fetch a flag. If you are seen by any of the sentries, they're going to call you out by name, know it, or point to you, call you out. If you're called out, they'll be out. And then he gestures to the barkeep, and he will be on watch as well, watching them.
We're all going out at the same time.
One of you from each group, I apologize. Okay. One of you from each group, all of you, meaning one representative from each group, is going out right now to go.
Okay.
Which means there will be 9 people looking. Flag in the woods.
We only need one flag.
Yes, you need one flag. Everyone stay here.
Yes.
Ready and...
I have a question for the DM.
Oh yes, I'm DM.
Does my ability to turn into a crow count as magic or a racial ability?
They would consider.
Fine.
It's magic, but not a spell.
Yeah, they would consider it. If you did it and were caught, they would consider it. But
There's some magic things that I can't.
Okay,
I can't help but see in the dark, guys.
so
3, 2, 1.
is this a me?
I mean, yeah,
Who's
it's a
the
stealth.
I got the stealth.
You're the stealthy one.
Me.
Then you then.
Okay.
And he's. You're just hanging out, Pax.
Oh yeah, I'm like, what am I doing? What do I even have on me?
He's back at
that's
the lock.
special.
He brought the lock
I
with you.
run into the woods.
Yeah.
With
Everyone.
everybody else.
Yeah, everyone just kind of 9.
But then I break off because I don't want to be with a crowd of people.
Yeah, 9 people kind of run into the woods to start, and then everyone kind of breaks off into silence. You see a couple people that go up into trees. You noticing a couple people started going. You currently are far enough in that you haven't heard or seen anything. All right. Now, explain to me where you put your. It would have to be somewhat visible.
I think I picked 2 trees that have enough clearing between them. I tied out on one tree and I climbed up and I'm just sitting in the branch of the other one, like a foot dangling, just staring at it.
I'm directly at the.
Like I think I had like my hat tilted down, so you can't like really see where I'm gazing, but I'm basically just staring at it.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'm like at the full, like the furthest distance I can be, whatever I tried to plan.
You could be 60 feet away.
Yeah, like about 60 feet. If I can see in perfect darkness.
Cool. And then Whitney,
Mm-hmm.
what is your plan? Try to explain a little bit more. Can
So
you
I-
see in the dark?
No.
This will be a little bit rough
It's
for
a
you.
little rough.
Just as far as finding.
But I'm gonna take my time. I just want to find where flags are, if they're near each other.
Hard to say.
Right. Until I get there. And then I just want to pick a flag if I find one flag. Oh, I see it. Think about thinking from the of depending. That's what my plan is at the moment.
Gotcha. That sounds like a good plan. Roll your perception roll.
Ooh, that's just
Okay.
That was a low roll.
What is your passive?
12.
While you're looking at just staring basically at the flag that's by you, you see someone step out of the forest towards it.
As soon as I see someone, we're supposed to report it, basically. Can I tell who it is?
Looking a bit closer, you can tell it's a tiefling.
Are they stumbling?
Not actively. I don't know what
I don't think the drunken tieflings are always drunk.
Yeah.
They just like to party.
Hey.
They are drinking.
Hopefully they're sober by now.
Morning was different.
I hope you're sober this time.
The person stiffens and looks up in your direction and goes, "Damn." And just like throws his hands up in the air and starts walking back. You heard that. It was probably about 40 feet that way you heard the tiefling talking, but you didn't actually hear him talking to him.
Did I hear what he said?
Just
Heard him say "damn."
and then just
You did not hear what anyone else said. You heard the tiefling say "damn" and then start walking back.
stop.
Yeah, he's being quite loud now.
Kind of guess that there's something noticed.
Mhm. Okay. So you go in that direction. Roll for your stuff.
Give him my flag.
That's an 11. Which is the lowest I can.
You start walking that direction and trip over like every branch that is possible to trip on, just because it's kind of dark.
Snickers.
You start hearing tree branches breaking in the direction he's walking. That's not him.
I'll look.
I'm gonna stop.
Now
So I can see 120 feet in there.
You look in that direction and you don't actually see anything. You heard it for sure.
Yeah.
But looking in that direction, you haven't seen anything, and it sounded like it was still pretty far off, like at least 60 feet. So there's probably a bit of foliage between you.
Yeah. I'll just go back to my thing. Just kind of glance.
Yeah, there was definitely something. Whitney, what are you doing?
Gonna move forward at a slower pace
Okay.
to try and be more cautious.
Before you move, you hear someone off in the distance yell, "I see you there, half-elven!" And it was definitely Syken's voice.
And this came from a different direction.
Yeah, that one came from far to your right, or technically the east.
I will note that.
Okay, go ahead and do your second.
It's an 18.
Version. You're specifically trying to observe that way.
Yeah.
I want you to roll. This isn't passive anymore.
That's a 7.
Thank you.
Cool. You are able
I'm
to
too
see
focused on my
forward.
thing.
It is very dark, but there's some dim light patches with it. Now, where you put the flag was in an opening enough that you could see it from 60 feet away.
Like, it's in a tree, and I'm in a tree opposite it.
60 feet away.
Yeah.
So there is some light getting to that flag. As you sneak out a little bit further, you see a flag hanging from a tree, kind of in this half clearing. It's not a full clearing.
Right, but like there's a
There's
decent amount of
like,
space
these are
between it and some of
old
the other
growth
trees.
Yes.
that are
Exactly. It's
Um,
feels a bit.
I'm gonna sneak to the tree closest to where I can still see the flag
Okay.
and observe the clearing
or
and look for something or someone. And
Looking in the
my-
clearing, You can see
Like, why
it's
would they
dim
just
light,
leave it?
so you can kind of see now. It's not too crazy, but you can definitely see like ground floor. It's not too crazy. There's not a lot on it. General foliage, some twigs and branches and stuff around. Stuff that you could navigate through, but could also make quite a bit careful. You're not seeing anything. This clearing.
Is there, so the side of the tree that the flag is, is tied to, is there, is on the back side of that tree, is it closer to other trees? Like, is it darker on that side? Opposite.
Yeah, so opposite of that one, it kind of goes into a little bit more densely forested area, but the side that the flag is on itself is pretty open.
From where I'm at, I'm gonna make a wide skirt around that tree so I can come up behind it, behind the trunk, and climb up the opposite side of the tree. Hopefully where they're not looking.
As you start moving, you hear a shout off in the distance to the east. Kind of just a loud speaking voice, more than a shout, that says, Tiefling in the woods, second tree on the left. And then you hear some swearing in... What languages do you?
Common, Elvish, and...
You damn well tell it was swearing. But you don't know what language it is.
It was the choice words of another language.
You can tell based on the way it sounded, the tones of things. Grayson, what languages do you speak?
Just common and halfling.
Yeah, you hear it as well. Not sure if but you definitely hear the swearing sounds as well.
He doesn't seem
You might even hear it. It was definitely a girl's voice.
He
You
doesn't
might
seem
even
happy.
hear it. You wouldn't be able to hear words, just sounds. Okay, now you're trying to sneak around.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll again for stealth to get to the back side of this tree going the long way around in the... Not going to give you disadvantage,
I know. But...
but I'm not going to give you any advantages at this point.
I know.
And
That's cocked.
You
That's
can
more
reroll it
8s.
or accept the 8.
I'm gonna call it cocked.
I don't mind.
An 18 is pretty good.
But you could get less than me, too.
you're statistically more likely to get an 8 or higher, though.
He is correct.
Correct. I already picked it
But
up.
like,
That's fine.
yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Roll then.
It doesn't bother me. Grayson, can I have you roll real quick?
Perception?
Yep.
Oh, I rolled a 1, so
You
I don't think I can add anything to that to win. But it's
are pretty dang sure you heard something coming from that way, which is far away from.
Oh, so the person coming this way gave up.
It seemed like it. Like they may have gone a different route. But you definitely heard something off to your right. Whitney, you're able to get to that tree. You keep hearing those noises, by the way.
I'm gonna climb it.
Okay, you start climbing that tree. We'll use that same stealth rule for now, but I want you to acrobatics or athletics, whichever is your.
4.
Is it over 10?
It is 10.
It is 10.
Wait, the I roll that you.
It's a
No,
6.
it's
Plus
a
a
6
6
plus
plus
my
a
4
4.
makes it a 10. Exactly.
You climb up. You're able to do it just fine, but your foot slips once, making a scratching, like a sliding sound on the bark. You're on the back side of the tree. You hear a second noise. Definitely came from the direction of. But you are still hearing noise in the bush to your right. Now, roll again for perception. For the bush.
That's a 20 this time.
You start to recognize that sound pretty well sounds like a wild pig
Woodland crew.
foraging. Which is
Oh.
necessary, not necessary. Definitely you're still hearing. Whitney, you made it up to as high as you were trying to get on that.
I'm going to wait. Yeah, I made it on tree. I'm gonna wait.
You know how much easier this would be if
I
We
could
had-
be in the dark.
or if we had all established a mental link earlier.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Uh-huh.
I thought about that too late.
um,
I just have my book on my lap, by the way.
you hear, you both hear Sykin's voice say, "Ah, by the lich's rotted cheek!" And he goes, "Damn!" and then walks, and then you hear him walking. You both know that he was one of the volunteers.
Somebody got his water. I am gonna start working my way around the tree. Get the flag.
Okay.
Or, well, so that I can get the flag into you again.
I will let you do that with your current stealth roll. But yeah, with your current stealth. So you are able to get around the tree to where you can see it. What is your plan? You can see it. It's tied on a branch. It's a little further out of the... If you got onto that branch, or even one of the branches close to it, you could probably reach out and grab it. If you were on it, you could definitely grab it. If you were on one next to it, stretch, or you should be. And it is definitely more out in the open.
Is there a branch above it?
Yes. There's branches.
Definitely a branch above it.
Alright. I need two. So, like, above it. If I get on this one and, like, swing down by my knees and then untie it and get back up,
Yes, you
can
can
I
do that.
do that? Is this branch slightly more obscured? Like, ish.
They're both on the same side of the tree that's in the open, so they wouldn't be more or less obscure.
That's fair.
Not necessarily any. I mean, there's season things, but not full covered, not full foliage and coverage of
Right.
the lone tree.
Still where somebody would be able to see. Can I now, from a vantage point up above, see anybody out in the that now look in my tree?
Are you stealthed, Grayson? Roll really quick.
I'm leaning against a tree with my legs like
Literally don't fail, and you should be good.
That's 17
Yeah.
without
you-
my
Looking
perception.
around, you don't see well because again it's pretty dark, and they're just out of the dim light. But you see the shape of a person on a branch, across, like straight across. Like if you peek around, you can see it straight across from where the flag is.
Is my hat distinct enough?
Probably.
You might recognize that.
Well,
That's up to you. I'll let you.
This is so funny.
well, crap. I don't know if he's allowed to omit seeing me. Since I'm technically on his team.
Why wouldn't he be?
Alright, I'm gonna take a risk recognizing the hat on this fellow's head and just sneak out on the branch and untie it.
You definitely see her, but I need you to roll stealth for a different reason.
I'm as soon as I see if I can tell who she is, I start writing in my book under her name. It's like go find a different flag.
That is 20.
20 total,
Yes, so I rolled a 10 plus my addition of 10 makes it 20.
and you looked down right then into your book.
Like as soon as I recognized that it would be her, It's like, okay, go find another flag. Is my
You just
because
okay.
it's basically just sending it to her brain.
Your brain receives that message as you start untying it.
Can I respond to your messages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just comes back in writing on my book.
Up to 25. That's the same.
Can't you just admit that you haven't seen me? We're working on a team. Like, they didn't say that wasn't allowed.
One of us would be out. I just write you a new one.
Get out!
It's just- yeah. Yeah. I'm like, okay. And I let her take the
Then
flag.
Corin yelled her name.
And I sneak back into the tree.
Oh shoot! My flag's gone. And I just jump out of the tree.
As you jump out of the tree, at the bottom of it, Merrick is standing there. With, like, back against the tree trunk beneath you. And says, didn't see her, huh?
Oh. I just assume she can get more points than I can.
Nice.
Assuming there's points.
Her name.
I don't. I assume she can grab me more points than I can get.
He just kind of waves his hand like this. And he walks in the direction that you heard Corin's.
And I just write in the book, like, good luck.
Hopefully we didn't botch that.
You don't know. I rolled for him as well. For Merrick, I mean. That's what those two rolls were when I was like, so what are you doing? But anyway, moving to you guys get back. It's probably another. No one else gets a flag by the end of it. Corin is called out. Everyone else is flag.
Yeah.
So the two people who ended up getting them, Bill, Brushcloak, you guys.
Bill, no.
Merrick and the Tavern Keeper get back, and they say, well, this was definitely an odd take this evening. Merrick gestures to Bill and Sykin and says, one group got it from their own team, and then gestures towards you two. Another group got it from...
That's great.
One of them definitely got it fair. The other, not so. We're going to allow both points. However, we're going to leave the opportunity of losing a. He says, Sykin, what's your name again?
Vincent Balan.
Vincent, I need you to go, and they point in different directions. He says, Vincent, you go that way. Sykin, you go that way. Go and do this again.
Ooh. It's time to do.
And then once you guys leave, are you going to do basically the same setup you did last time, Grayson? Or are you going to do something?
I am doing the same. Or I am.
Banning a bot.
Oh, is there dumb stuff?
Did it get rid of
Wanna be famous?
Yeah, it says that you deleted the message.
Okay, because it's still on my screen, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means I might be able to do it, actually. I'm not sure, I've never tried.
May as well figure it out before we have any viewers.
Yeah.
We're back. We were up to 5
Block.
at a point.
Take that, sucker.
Before we have number of
Before we have hundreds.
Yeah.
We lost our restream chats.
oh no.
I blocked that dude, and the game was like,
no.
excuse you?
We don't do that here.
Oh, that's hilarious that it did that though. Anyway, continuing on though. Once it's been a minute when you guys have left, he points to you, Whitney, and says, "You, that way," and points to where Syken went, and points to you, and points to Bill, and points to where you went. Not that you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Time to do it again.
Yeah, I just keep the same kind of plan.
Deal.
A complicated knot in a very open spot.
Oh, a complicated knot in it. Right. Just like multiple knots or
Yeah.
something.
In theory, it should give me enough time to actually see who it is.
That's really
Whether it actually happens that way. I refresh and it's gone, so it worked.
okay. Sounds. Dang, well, it looks like it's broken for a minute. Okay. Yeah, really sad. Moving on to the next part here. I'm gonna start with yours for now. Go ahead and sneak up. You know the exact direction that they were supposed to go. That Syken was supposed to go.
So I'm gonna go in that direction. And wise.
Roll your stealth real quick. First things first.
Read both. I love it.
16.
16. Okay. You move through the forest and you're moving towards the direction you definitely know we went. It actually doesn't take warnings. Yeah, I think it's going again. We can either stop or just end there. But if we did, it would just be you two versus your opposites if we ended here tonight.
Might as well finish. If we can. If it's going, which it looks like it might be.
It is going, but what that means is that there's going to be 2 technical streams. There's going to be two
different
VODs and recordings. So it's not that we can't do it, it's just
I can pull it from Twitch and splice it if we want.
It is continuing as the same.
It just
so
started
you're aware,
over.
I just got out of it.
yeah, it'll still stream as Rover then.
Yeah, it just started over basically.
Oh.
Well, let's just go ahead and
Yeah.
finish this, I guess.
Welcome back.
Yeah. There's 20 whole minutes of solid content we had.
Solid.
I gotta find this guy,
Solid.
as
Okay.
I don't hide very much.
You roll your perception real quick. And then
Oh,
you go ahead and so you definitely see it. It's up in the trees. It looks like it's about 40 feet up. So it looks like someone climbed up there and put it up.
I'm gonna try and look at like where the flag is at and try and see if I can figure out where.
homeboy's at.
Yeah,
Pretty
if I can. Oh. It's dark. I can't see.
Yeah,
This
there's
is great.
this one's not so much in an opener area where you can see very.
Cool. So I, again, gonna go around to the back side of the tree where you flag. There's somewhere where they can see the flag. And go up. Swing around. Wide.
Roll
That
for
way.
stealth. For moving this way again. What is that?
24.
Now roll for perception.
Yeah, good perception.
This won't be sight. This will be based on your senses. You are sneaking around, paying close attention to where you are. You get maybe 10 feet away from the tree that you know that it's in. You're trying to go around, and you hear a branch snap right under that tree, like on the ground that you were trying. Looking up, you see a moving shape 10 feet away from you that you would have walked into it.
I'm gonna duck behind a tree.
Done. You looking now, your eyes aren't adjusting to the lack of light much, but you can definitely tell that a person is walking around the base of the tree.
Interesting.
And I'm about 10 feet away from the base of the tree.
You're about 10 feet away from that tree. There are other trees around, but you are about 10 feet from that one.
If I climbed the tree that I'm currently hiding behind, would I be able to traverse the branches from this tree to the tree that the flag is in?
There are definitely some that could. You could achieve it, but also where they start touching, the branches start to get a little stable. Avoiding possible snapping.
Right.
Slapping. What's up, slappers?
You think for a second.
Yeah, I have to.
Grayson, you are just sitting staring at that basically, right? What was your perception roll?
I rolled an 8.
You rolled
Well,
an
I
8?
rolled a 6, so I got 8.
Oof.
I'm not the greatest. I just had the advantage of not needing one.
Disadvantage. Slightly more. Okay.
Actually, it's not flawless. In fact, it's very flawed.
Pretty much good for your character, though.
I want to do something.
You just think for a second with me, it's okay. Grayson, you definitely heard something coming from below.
Can I see anything?
One of the knots is on. Ooh.
I like.
Right
Look,
up and redo it.
wait, Sykin's the one looking for it, right? Or is it Bill?
Bill is.
It's like, hey, Bill, you're clearly here. I just say it. I don't know where you're here, but I will find you.
Roll intimidate. No. Sorry.
You hear some noise coming from the bottom right of the tree, like some movement, snapping.
I'm just gonna stare at the flag like.
It's one way to do it.
Like, yeah, just like glancing around and like, oh, like, he's gotta be there.
Roll for perception.
That's a 14.
A little bit of time passes. You're staring right at it the whole time. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. You feel a rustling on your branch.
Behind, oh, I'm like leaning against the thing. Like, wait,
Like your branch in front of you is moving, like someone's pulling on.
I just kind of, I brace myself a little bit against the tree, and I'm just staring.
After it shakes a couple times more, it actually snaps off about 3 feet in front of you.
I stand like
On your
shocked.
nub.
Yeah, on the nub. I'm like, oh crap.
I bet you just stand up and you're staying on your nub.
Yeah.
Staring at the tree.
I might try to jump to another branch if there's another one close, but
There is another one close if you need to get.
yeah. But I'm trying to keep my focus and everything on that one tree, or
Okay.
on my flag. But
Yeah.
I want to try to relocate. However,
It is, let's go to you for a minute.
I have questions for the DM.
Okay, what's your
No.
question?
I'm allowed.
Does Mage Hand and Prestidigitation count as using
Yeah.
magic?
Those are magic.
Those are definitely.
I do my secret countries.
Grayson. She needs more time.
I'm gonna time it. Like
Okay,
as soon as
circling.
as soon as he's back behind, I'm gonna, as quietly as possible, get up and try and be all monk stuff about it.
Acrobatic.
Yeah.
Roll stealth and then acrobatics for me.
Dope.
What?
That's 17 plus 10.
You're
27.
stealthy. You get to the tree while he's behind it. Not a problem at all. Acrobatics, however.
That's a 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
She just parkour. She's
You
That's
tried parkour running up it like
It's
a
8.
monk.
It's +6.
Yeah, she said 8. Is she?
No. Oh, acrobatics
Acrobatics
is a.
is-
Oh, you're right. It is a 6.
It's a 6.
I don't know what I
It's
was
not an
thinking.
8, it's a
plus
6.
4.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
You
I know.
I tried to make you good.
I
You
know.
tried to run up and like slipped on some of the bark as you were grabbing up on one of the branches. So again, you made a foot sliding sound. You didn't quite plant on the center of it, and so when you planted on the side of the tree, it slipped. Hard to tell in the dark where the center of the tree. And you definitely slipped while you were trying to grab it. I want you to roll acrobatics again to see if you are able to not land on your back.
13. 13.
You're able to kind of tuck and roll with me. Now I want you to roll stealth. You're either going to get hidden away from him after this mistake, or
So, let me tell you what my plan is.
deal. Tell me your plan.
He's probably gonna just hurry around the other side of the tree again. My plan is just to
Yeah.
stay on the opposite side of the tree as him.
Okay.
So it should be fairly easy. Maybe.
We're the Three Stooges. We're
Still
14.
14.
Oh, thank goodness you have so much stealth. He runs around the side of the tree. You skirt around to keep on the opposite side of him, and he goes, "I found you." Oh, why?
Oh.
Bill, is that you?
Oh, that'd be even funnier.
Again? Grayson. You start hearing some rustling at the base of the tree of the flag. You're staring at the flag.
I'm gonna look at the base.
You look down at the base. You don't see anything. You look up. Nothing's changed. You continue sitting up on that branch, yeah?
Yeah, if I move to a new branch, yeah, I'll sit back down on this new one.
Are you allowed to make another perception roll at some point?
What perception?
That might change
13?
things.
He's here. Somewhere.
Whitney, you are currently skirting around the opposite side as Saikin as he's doing his rounds.
Are
around
there
this tree.
any branches lower on the other side of the tree?
There's a couple of them, a little bit low.
And I jump up and like,
Yeah, I don't think you need acrobatics for this one. You should be able to grab you should be able to just jump up and grab this.
okay,
And you should be able to get up into.
hey,
You can get to the flag as well. I'm pretty sure with those current stealth rolls. And everything. Now that you have the flag,
I have to
what's your plan?
to quietly get back down to the same branches that I like used to get in. Time it just right that as he goes, get down and book it.
This will just be a stealth roll. So you should be fine unless you roll a 1 here.
Must still be an 11.
Again, you're fine unless you roll a 1 here.
Hey. Hail me now.
Don't.
Yeah, you're able to get down and away from the tree. A little while after you ran away, you hear his second go, "Oh, come on!" Grayson. You start noticing a lot of smoke coming up from your tree.
God, I hate when that happens.
Are you looking down?
No. I'm considering what I... Is there another tree I can jump to quite easily?
You probably could do it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, like, pivot to a different tree.
Cool, this one's a little bit further away.
Yeah.
You pivot to another tree, but you can still pretty well see the tag. About 5 or so minutes later, the smoke just keeps getting denser and denser. And it seems to have... Suddenly you notice that it seems to be all along the line of trees that are on this side of the cliff.
Okay. I'm gonna try to clear the jump over the fire, basically. Onto the
Looking
ground.
down, you're not seeing much fire. It looks like mostly a bunch of low-burning embers that have a lot of grass and things thrown on top.
Yeah, I'm just trying to jump over it so I'm on the other side.
You'd be near the end of the tree branches.
Yeah. This may end bad.
Roll for dexterity.
Acrobatics or...
Yeah, acrobatics.
Fuck.
That was horrible. That was a 3 total.
You jump forward and either it snaps a little bit as you jump forward or something, but it definitely snaps as you jump forward and you go sliding down. How high up?
Probably like 10, 15 feet.
It's a bit jarring. Roll for perception really quick with disadvantage.
I did not make it. I didn't even look at that. That's a 5.
5 max. Was that? I said with disadvantage.
Oh, with disadvantage.
It
5
could be
max.
even less than 5.
5.
5?
Yeah.
Confirmed? You look around clearly a little bit dazed. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but it's still 15 foot tall. The flag is gone.
That sounds about right.
Looking around, you can actually see there's like little piles of like, not sandpaper, little piles of like wood dust, and you can see that like looking up where all these little piles of it are below most of the branches in these trees around where you were sitting, and you just see like all these piles of like rocks underneath by all the trees that just have a bunch of embers and a whole bunch of like grass and things, dead leaves and all sorts of crap was just thrown on top of it from underneath. It's a pretty good smoke screen.
Yeah.
Really a long time to do Grayson. You didn't notice him doing it once.
Yeah.
I mean, he did only roll perception.
He rolled it 3 times. But also, yeah. I kept rolling his stealth while doing these things. Well, it was just...
Yeah.
However, you both succeeded. Good work.
Hmm.
I can handily. And when Bill Bushpoke gets back, you get back as well, and Merrick says, "I was over the 10 minutes. Sorry." So.
What?
You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Bill took too long.
Oh.
So, congratulations. He looks at you and says, "Congratulations." I think that's where we're gonna.
This one.
It is now 9:57. There are at least 2 more events that we're going to do, but that will be in game and in 2
2
weeks in real.
In real life.
I do. I compliment Bill on his craftsmanship.
Bill shakes his head. The stupidest thing I've
I'm sorry, it was our fault.
It may be stupid, but it worked.
Fair.
And Bill shakes his head, like looks at Merrick and says, "There really should have been a rule saying you couldn't stare."
You're not wrong.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in or watching the VOD later.
We should have these little problems fixed by next week. Not necessarily the connection one. I don't know if that'll be 100% fixed or not, but at least the chat here.
Regardless, we learn more every week, and see you guys later.
Let's actually go to the, we'll be back.